Coach Dan Tortora, WakeUpCall, How are you?
How you doing?
Doing well. Bonzi Wells obviously had time in the NBA with him with the Portland Trailblazers. What's it been like to work with him, with this team, and build these young men after being a young man with him in the NBA?
It's been good. I think, most people maybe don't realize Bonzi was the coach of MON-FRI for 2 years, head coaching. To have him on staff, I think is great for these young guys. And I don't even think I think that he's going to assume so much more of a role with us. I don't even think he's put a stamp on, the team yet, in terms of, who he was as a player, because I always tell him all the time, let him know who you are. And it's not about being an NBA player, but most of the guys on our team don't understand. He came from Muncie, Indiana. He went to a mid-major school, Ball State. He was 11th pick in the draft. Like, that means something, you know what I mean? And so, he's been an underdog his whole life. So for me to just see him in this light has been great. I look at him as a brother, and I'm excited for him as he moves forward as a coach.
Coach, name, image, and likeness, the transfer portal, realignment obviously affecting this conference with Stanford, SMU, and Cal coming in. How do you address all of these things that coaches didn't have to address when you were playing?
At times it gets on your nerves, but I actually love it. I think it's probably my background, though, I would say. So it's like coaches, right? When I became head coach, I reinforced this to myself all the time. I try not to get mad or take it personal when my players don't know something that I know, because I've been somewhere where they haven't. And it's the same thing in talking to agents, parents, and recruits about, NIL and all the different things. Because the reality of it is, all I hear people talk about is money. Obviously it's about money, but most people talking about money right now only talking about money because they ain't have money. So I have money, so I got a perspective on what money looks like. And so now when you're dealing with people, now you're trying to get them to understand and see a bigger picture. Because speaking for Damon Stoudamire, if I was in a situation where I didn't have a great relationship or didn't feel like I had a relationship with maybe the head coach, or I'm not going to that school, I don't care how much money they give me. But it's because I thought I was going to be a pro. I knew I was going to be a good college player, so I left a little on the table. Mentalities are totally different, so I get it, because some guys aren't necessarily pros, because we take that word for granted. We always put people and say people are pros, but what does that really mean? When I played, to be a pro, first of all, nobody left school early. You had numbers, you had a body of work. You can start from a guy who was a freshman. My freshman year to my sophomore year, I averaged 7 points, 11 points, 18 points, and 22 points, and I went number 7 in the draft. They knew I could play. Now you're guessing. And so in trying to get parents, trying to get even agents talking for a kid, you can't talk about potential of a kid. We get fired for potential. So NBA, right? Coaches get fired for guys with potential. Teams with potential get fired, right? So you have to create some type of system to help you out in that NIL space. And if somebody's realistic or they don't align with what you're talking about, it's fine. It's a lot of players. And what you have to do is you gotta go and evaluate. See what has happened. What has happened with NIL. This is what's happened with NIL, right? That kid over there on the left, or to my left, Nate George. Nate, you had what, one scholarship offer? One scholarship. You didn't come to Georgia Tech last year. Where were you gonna go? It's Seattle U, if I'm not mistaken, right? Nate George was going to Seattle U had I not taken him last year. So that's missing the evaluation. And so again, what has happened is that there are people out here that have allowed money to make them lazy. And so now you got to do more work. And so to your point, you know, leading all the way up to it. So you're the head coach, you're trying to coach a team. And my NBA background makes me a GM and a president as well. So if you're gonna talk numbers with me, you gotta talk real. Like, we're not gonna talk fictitious stuff, we're gonna talk honesty, and we're gonna talk real. Because at the end of the day, right, if I do decide to get that guy that money, because I don't have no illusions about it, we all got these collectives and all that stuff, but the collective, they only gonna get the money if I say get the money. You know what I'm saying? They don't get the money to somebody that you don't say get the money to. So my thing is that what comes with that money is an expectation, and that's what we have forgotten. Because we have a lot of rules that are in the gray area, and we got to get out that gray area. And if we get out that gray area and we get black and white, then it'll help the whole out. But it's so complex now, and it's turned into a 24-hour job. You cannot do all these and wear these hats by yourself. And so what I try to do each and every day is speed my coaches up. Because what has happened is it's become an uncomfortable conversation in 2024 talking about NIL money, because nobody has ever had to talk about money. But in my world, you talk about money all the time. You make money, you lose money. It's just kind of part of it. So I like it, but don't mean I don't dislike it at times. But so for me, I enjoy the part of it. You know, the crazy thing about it, now I talk to my kids, these guys will tell you I'm on them about academics. But man, ever since I got back to college, I haven't had nobody ask me about graduating. That's a fact. We've lost what this is all about. Like, the only reason I can stand up here and be a head coach is because I went back to Arizona and got my degree. I never even hear people talk about a degree anymore. Now, that does not mean you can't be successful, but if you're gonna start this journey, you might as well finish this journey, even if you come back. But nobody talks about it. And so, for me, that's the beauty of what I'm doing now. And I didn't know that when I took this job, but it's the beauty of it. I had a great conversation with Derek Favors. Most people in Atlanta know Derek Favors. These guys in front row probably know Derek Favors. He's an elite East Atlanta guy. He went to the NBA draft. He was drafted number 2. Okay, he had a long career. He made over $100 million. And the one thing he said to me is, now I want to come back, I want to get my degree, because see, it means something when you get older. You're trying to make it, but it means something. But nobody is even talking about degrees anymore. So for me, that's what I like. I still like the father part of it, and I'm gonna always be on my guys about the father part of it. I don't care what they say, I don't give a damn. But you know, we just gotta, you know, keep pushing as coaches, but we gotta stand for something as well. You know.
Nate, just what you could say about Coach Stoudamire taking a chance on you, like he said, would have been at Seattle, if not Georgia Tech. So just what he saw in you and that chance that he took.
I feel like I'm just grateful that he seen that in me. And I feel like he kind of seen someone that could kind of create and that could make plays for other people. And just when he believed in me, or when he told me he was gonna offer me, it just felt like it's a real feeling, just knowing that I would have went somewhere else, but instead I'm going here to play for a great point guard and just a smart coach. So at a high major in the ACC, so just having that just felt really good.
You and Tyrese Proctor have similar hair. Who wears it best?
I do. I know you probably said the same. He said he wears the best. I think I got it the best though.